What's up, YouTube? I'm back. Today's YouTube video. Woo! Yeah! Today's YouTube video is going to be SAliva, the rock band from Memphis, Tennessee, versus Drowning Poo from Dallas, Texas. Yeah! Yeah, I know that's a lot of energy way over the top. I'm just so excited. Today's Tuesday. I get 3 days off from work, and then I'll be back at it on Friday. Had to work 4 days in a row. But I'm going to continue my music series, because it's a music series. When it's all said and done, it could be 10 to 15 episodes. Who knows, might be 20. It all depends on how many episodes I can get creative. Now, SAliva is a rock band that came out in the mid-1990s. And at this point, like most rock bands, they had a unique sound, you know, and to be honest, to tell you the truth, I had heard the name SAliva, but I weren't really, how should I put this? I didn't hate them, and I didn't think they were bad. I just, at that time, you know, Korn was out, you know, Disturbed was out, Marilyn Manson out, Rob Zombie was out, Kid Rock was out. Those are a lot of guys that were out during the 1990s. And I kind of had this friend that all he does is listens to rock music when we were in junior high going into high school. And he told me when it was all said and done, there's only going to be only one rock band 10 years from now you're going to be listening to when it's all said and done. And I said, Korn. He was like, yeah, Korn will be around. Disturbed will be around. But the group I'm talking about is SAliva. Now, I didn't listen to their first album, so I guess, I don't know why he did it, but for whatever reason, I guess it was a foreshadowing on what things to come. He took out their first album and played 2 songs, and they were okay. I just, you know, it's like, well, I don't know. By the time I did listen to their music, they had already done 2 albums, and they were already working on album number 3. This was 1999, and it was on a demo tape, and all of a sudden I heard this one rock song that made me become a SAliva fan. All it took was one song. Normally when I listen to a song, you usually gotta have 2 songs, 3 songs, 4 or 5 songs, and if I like all the songs, I'm a fan forever. This just took one song. Come on, you know I got you, yeah. Break down the wall, step into the light and break down the wall. You know I agony of defeat, break down the wall of Jericho. Now you know, Jericho, break down the wall. Once I heard that song, I was like, oh shit. Chris Jericho come out with that song, I was blown the hell away. And then to remix Chris Jericho's song and then turn around and make The King of My World. And then when he says the lyric, I never seen any side of heaven, but I always walk a mile in hell. It doesn't matter what you say to me, it's my destiny, because I know all too well. I was like, oh shit. And then we get years later, I Walk Alone with Batista. Now they had already done Dave Batista's theme song without words. And then it turned around and add words to it. They started doing theme songs for professional wrestlers throughout the late 90s and the 2000s. You know, they did Batista's, Chris Jericho's, Triple H. Yeah, Triple H had them do his theme song, but we know who Triple H's #1 go-to guy is. And don't worry, eventually we'll get him onto this list too. Don't worry, we'll get Motorhead on here, so don't be thinking, oh, he just gonna leave him out. Don't worry, we'll get him on here. Now, they put songs like that. But the one song that I always love is Badass. When he says, I'm a badass. And that song originate, I'ma hunt you down. Dun 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 dun. When he puts the hood into it, you could feel the energy. You could feel the electricity in this bitch. I started listening to Saliva songs and couldn't stop. You know, the 2 songs with Chris Jericho, Batista, Badass, I'ma Hunt You Down. Every song that Saliva put out is so great. I can't even remember not one single time they have not made a bad song. Every song they made is so damn great. They have had their songs in movies, television shows, professional wrestling, sports, commercials, and they've even managed to make their way into Dragon Ball Z. When they had a chance to do Lord Slug, Cooler's Revenge, they were able to do songs for animated movies for Funimation. And you see they crossed over because by the time they did alternative rock, heavy metal rock, punk rock, rock and roll, then they did a thing called rap rock. And then the lead singer at that time crossed over and did some songs with Jay-Z, you know, Taking Over, you know, What the Hell Are We Waiting For? You know, with Linkin Park. So, because he did it first and then Linkin Park came in later on for the ending of Jay-Z's career. So someone kind of came in the beginning of Jay-Z's career in the 90s while Linkin Park kind of, you know, segued in to help him in his career. But Saliva and they songs I created a connection with. Like the Batista song, a lot of times when I get rejected by women, I really do feel exactly like what that what that rock song describes. I do walk alone. What 1,000 years of anger? I can relate to that song. I'm gonna hunt you down. A lot of times when I want to get back at somebody, yeah, I want to hunt somebody down because of that song. Badass, because I don't like to follow the rules. I like the song Badass by Saliva. The King of My World, I do feel like in a way I am the king of my world because of Saliva. Those are songs that when I listen to them, I can connect to them personally. And by the time we got to the late 2000s, it seemed like they just kept getting better and better. It's like it don't matter if you got all the alcohol and all the drugs in the world. Somehow, some way these guys get up and they perform at a high level. And you be like, these guys are stoned, they're drunk, they're out of their mind. And they just keep on popping out hit after hit after hit. And you be like, God damn, when is it going to stop? And with Saliva, it's hard to tell if they're going to stop. Now, some people get Saliva, Disturbed, and Korn. They always get those 3 rock bands mixed up. Because the lead singer sounds a lot like Korn and a lot like Disturbed at the same time. And then at one point in history, they were actually compared to these 2 groups. Now, in the late 2000s, they have actually surpassed Disturbed. They have matched the same level as Korn. And if anyone can beat Disturbed and can beat Korn, it's Saliva. Because even though their lead singer left and went to another rock group, and then another guy came in, the sound changed for a bit. They changed their sound 2 or 3 times in a 10-year span, but the sound got only better. And even though they lost the original lead singer and got a replacement, that didn't slow them down. That never stopped them. They just got better and better and better. And these guys are from Memphis, Tennessee. So who figured that they're from the same place? Woo! The Nature Boy, 16-time world heavyweight champion, baby. Real dealing, Samoa gun. Woo! The Nature Boy. Yeah, I know that's a lot of energy in the video. You're like, damn, Alex, why you gotta do that early in the morning? It's Tuesday. I'm happy. Shit. Like I was saying, they're from the same place Ric Flair, the Nature Boy, Ric Flair is. Now, he did move to Charlotte, North Carolina now. But my point is, these guys bring their A game. And you can never tell when they're going to slack off or fall. Like I said, all the drugs and all the alcohol in the world, and they'll still pop out hit after hit after hit after hit. Now, they have slowed down a little bit in the late 2000s, but they're still there, and they're still kicking ass and taking names. They haven't gone away. They pop out so much hits. Batista described them in his autobiography that he thinks they're by far the best rock band he's ever seen. So that'll tell you something right there. Now when they started out, they had already done 3 albums. By the time they got to Batista, they had already done album number 4. And by the time they were asked to do, the national anthem for sports, like baseball or football, or perform at the Super Bowl, or at the World Series or the Soccer World Cup or whatever, they had already done 6 albums. So they're probably, on album number 7 or album number 8 at this point. Who knows? They might have already done album number 9. I mean, like I said, you could never tell with this rock band. Now, let's go on to Drowning Pool. Now, Drowning Pool was always there. They were always putting out songs that were unpredictable, didn't make any sense, couldn't understand what they were saying, but their sound was so unique that even though you couldn't understand the words of their lyrics, you always kept doing this to a Drowning Pool album. And it wasn't until they did Jason X the movie that all of a sudden that song came on, and a lot of black people looked at me funny like, why are you nodding your head to something that's not hip-hop? And I go, because I'm tired of the hip-hop shit, and most of you outcast me in junior high and high school, so why not let the bodies hit the floor, let the body, doom, 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 ah! 1, nothing wrong with me. 2, nothing wrong with me. 3, nothing wrong with me. 1, something's got to give. 2, something's got to give. Ah! Let the bodies hit the floor. Let the bodies hit the floor. Once I heard these guys, that one song made me want to go look at all they damn songs. And that weren't the only song that they done. If you seen the first movie Punisher, SAliva was on that soundtrack with Drowning Pool. Remember? Step up if you want to get knocked down, knocked down. You had a chance to walk away, live to see another day. Step up if you want to get knocked down, knocked down. If you come on, you want to step up if you want to get knocked down. They had done those songs. And they even done a song for Dragon Ball Z. Like, they actually took another song prior to them releasing movies like Lord Slug, Cool's Revenge, Broly the Legendary Super Saiyan. Even Funimation called them in to do some songs. They've even done songs for video games. Mortal Kombat. Yeah, they came in at a point where no one suspected it. They came in and done video games for like Mortal Kombat, shooting games, race car games. So these guys were around too. And all rock bands have their issues. The lead guitar singer gets paid the most money, and the drummer complains and says, I'm getting short-handed. They're saying their sound changed like at least 5 times. In a 10-year span, their sound changed 5 times. They themselves put out 5 or 6 or 7 albums. Now, the reason why you don't hear them much, and they're from Dallas, Texas, is usually because these guys break up, somebody wants to go solo and do their own thing. The lead singer did try to put out a solo album. It did chop music charts, but but in the end of the day, people wanted to see the group, and the group kind of went, it ain't the same. So between these two, who's really better? I would say by a slight edge, SAliva takes it. Not because they make the best music, but because when you want something to make you feel passionate or make you relate to something, these guys can make you feel that way. You could break up with your wife, or I mean, get divorced from your wife, or break up with your girlfriend, or you can get rejected by 100 women, and you could just pop a song out from SAliva, and that song will make you feel like you're watching a movie. Like, they'll pick you up and say, it's okay if that bitch rejected you. Listen to this, and you won't think about that bitch as much. That's SAliva. Drowning Pool is more like, you know what? That bitch made your life a living hell. Let's go make that bitch's life a living hell, and let's let bodies hit the flow. So you look at SAliva, they have a mixture of songs like "Let's Go Whoop Somebody's Ass," "Oh, that bitch did you wrong," let me tell you a story. They can do varieties of things, and then they can cross over into different genres. As for Drowning Pool, they've crossed over too, but as of lately, they put out some music. It ain't the same, and a lot of people like to consider this group an average rock band group because they put out those two songs, and they don't really make anything good anymore. So it's like, what happened to these guys? They're still around. It's just some people can last long and some can't. So by a slight edge, I give it to SAliva. Next time on my music series, it's gonna be Rihanna versus Nicki Minaj. Yeah, we gotta bring in some females in the series. I don't want no one to accuse me of being sexist. Until next time, peace.